All right. So before um we we jump into what you have today, um, can somebody just do a quick recap of what you did last week, so that those who are able to join would be on the same page. Anyone can go. Those of you who were here last week.
Sir, please mention our names.
I should mention your name, sir. Okay.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. All right. Wednesday. Oh, she's not here yet. Okay, Wednesday is not here. Um, Dave. Hello, David. Okay, since David is not responding, let me jump on to the next person. Nancy, you were here last week.
Hey, so I learned about the Figma,
Mm-hmm.
and the Figma is a web-based design, and also it's a prototyping tool. And I got to learn the tools, some of the tools on Figma, some of the tools like the frame, the multiplier tools, and also I learned that Figma is a collaborative tool, unlike Photoshop. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Nancy. Are you behind your laptop or you are joining in with your phone? Hello, Nancy.
Hello, Andy.
Are you behind your laptop or you are joining with your phone?
No, please. My laptop is not with me at the moment.
Wow. Okay. Um. So, Justice, can you tell us what you did last week? So, you were here last week. You said I should mention names.
Please, Justice was not here last week.
Who? Yeah, this was not here last week. Who is speaking now? Who is speaking now?
This is Justice, but he was not here last week.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Sure. So, let me hide this. Today we are going to replicate this, right? How many are we here? I've shared the link in the comment section, so please kindly click on it and then hop into the Figma file so that I see you there. I want to see your mouse on my screen. Um, let me. We have Dave. We have Design Punk. You have Justice. You have Martin. Martin, how are you? Then you have Nancy. So let me quickly create a workspace for everyone so that we can work on it. So this is what you are replicating. Um, right. So we are trying to replicate this design here. Um, this is our working area. So those in the file. Hey, I'm the only one in the file. Okay, so I'll give you another example so that you guys work on it. I'll place your names behind it, but let me do the replication so that you guys know how I went about it. Right. So are you guys with me?
Yes.
All right. So this a mobile screen that we are trying to replicate, right? It's a banking application. So this is a home screen for the banking application that we are trying to replicate, right? So we are going to start with what we learned the other time. First things first, before we can actually start with the design, we need to know the screen that we are creating for, right? So just as I said, this is a mobile screen. So can somebody tell me the tool that we use to create this frame? Oh, I've said it. The tool that we can use to create this mobile screen so that we can start working on it. Alright, so it's a frame tool. So before you start a design, you need to get your frame. So if you are designing for a mobile screen, when you click on your frame tool, see that it is selected. You can see on your right side, right, the property panel where it shows you like details of whatever you have selected. So you see we are on phone, right? So I can choose a tablet, a desktop presentation, a watch of paper, social media. So depending on what you are working on, this is a mobile screen. So I will just come here, and we have different sizes of mobile screens, right? So if you are designing for an iPhone 16, you can choose an iPhone 16. If you are designing for an Android app, you can choose an Android. But ideally, it is advisable for designers to start designing with the smaller screen first, right? The reason why we designers design with the smaller screen first is that it helps in making our designs responsive. So it is easier to scale your design when your design is smaller than to start from a larger screen and compress it, scaling it down, because that means you are going to take a lot of things out of it. But if you have a smaller screen, if you start with a smaller screen, you focus on what is really important first, right? Then maybe there are certain things we can add to it that we can find on a tablet version or a desktop version. So an example is when you visit certain websites, right? You can see that there is a website. You can have a website where on their homepage, let me try and share something like that with you so that you see what I'm talking about. Hold on. A minute, please. Right, there are certain elements that when you have a website, let's say a video on a website page, right? The hero section, there is a video there. Maybe probably when you are using a mobile screen, you might not need it because it will take time for the video to load or all those stuff. So you can remove that one out and focus on what is really important first in your hero section. Just place, or you can just replace the video with an image on the mobile screen. But maybe for the desktop screen, you might have a video playing there. Right. So another example is when you have like cards, right, on your screen. Let me try and have a. I want to. Which website can I access that? A minute, please. I'm trying to find a website that will be appropriate for that. I don't want to share. Okay. I'm coming. Let me share my screen. Portfolios. Right, please. Can you see my screen? Let me switch the screen.
I'm still seeing Figma.
Okay, let me change to a different. All right, I hope you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this site, currently we are in the desktop mode, right? See that there is the sizing of these elements here is really huge. We have partners here, and then we have some cards here, right? I think it's a card. So yeah, we have some cards here that might be displayed. But if I try to shrink this website, right? Let me try and shrink it to the mobile version. Hey, the site is responsive. Okay. So as you can see, it has changed the our nav items here from this to hamburger menu, and then our heading to has kind of squashed itself a little bit, and then you see the show your portfolio. Initially it was occupying like this space, but it has shrunk a little bit, and then it's sacrificing certain things in there, right? So the importance of designing mobile screen first, is that it helps you allocate like the necessary things that you are supposed to put on your screen. Focus on what's really important first, and then later on you can add what you might want to add, right? Let me go back to my screen and continue sharing. It's okay. So back to our design. Since we are designing for mobile, we can choose our smaller screen here, but for this example, I'll go with iPhone 16, right? So I have my iPhone 16 here. So this is our frame. So the frame tool is used to select like the screen size that you are designing for, or the platform that you are designing for, right? Now if I zoom in, I'm zooming in by holding Control and then the scroll wheel on my mouse. You can also use Control and then the plus key on your keyboard, right? You can see we have our time here, and then we have some icons here, right? This is the status bar. So let's try and then get those items there first, and maybe we focus on the colors. So if you could recall, before you design, you see this is a high fidelity design, right? So it started from somewhere. So we can even start with the wireframes first, and then we can design the high fidelity one as well. But this is already in place, so I don't think the wireframing is necessary, right? Okay, so let's start. Let's get text here. So this is a text tool. You need to use our text tool. You select our text tool, then we click on our frame. So as you can see, the text is inside the frame. So the text is 941. So I have my text there. And for these icons, the other day I showed you that we have plugins that we can work with in Figma. So I can go to this side, click on the actions, and come to plugins and search for Iconify. So you can also use material icons from Google, but this is what I really use when I'm designing Iconify, or any plugin that will give you access to icons. So I'll click on that and run it. Right, so I'll search for a mobile signal. So this is our mobile signal showing our cellular signal, and then this is a Wi-Fi, and then this is battery. So cellular, I didn't spell it right. A. Right, so I have one here. I'll go with this one and choose a size of this from 64 to, let me choose another one. I want 24 by 24 pixels, so I'm not getting it. Don't worry, I can also resize it later on. Right, so what I really like about Iconify is that whilst you are using it, you can just drag and drop an icon in there, and then you can add multiple icons. So I can just hold this and drop it in here. As you can see, it's in here like this. Then I'll look for my Wi-Fi as well. Search for Wi-Fi. Let me see, which one did you have? I think the one with the pointed. So okay, this one. So I'll search for this one, drag and drop, or I can just import it as a frame, and then it will import it in there. Then I'll look for, so we have our notification bell to here, so I can add that one too. So I'm looking for all the icons that will be on my design, right? So we have our notification bell. So I can have a notification here. Hey. Notification. Right. So let me choose this one. Go with this one, so I can import in the frame. So let's try and see if it's there. Okay, so here's our notification bell. And then I think we have another Wi-Fi here, but this one is kind of curved. Let me see if we have a chip here. Let me see if we can chip for this icon. And try and find something similar to that. Let me use this one. I'll go with this one. So let me set that one to in the frame. Put that as a frame. So you can see it's on top of whatever you have here. You can just drag it around and resize it as well. Then I'll add another Wi-Fi as well. But this time around I'll look for the one that looks like this, slimmer. So these are your icons, right? So mostly in designs you are going to need icons, right? Yeah, we'll get more deeper into that when we are doing design systems, but for now I'm just showing you how to get replicate designs, right? And then get familiar with the Figma interface and how you can do certain things in Figma. Let me go with this one. Let me import that one too. And so we have this symbol. We have, so it is deposits. Let me see, deposits. So this is money in, showing money in and money out, right? So let me see this, money coming in and money coming out. Right. Let me use this one in place of what we have here. Let me see. Can I get that symbol? Let me think that. Let's see if I can get. I didn't think so. If I don't get this one, we can create some ourselves, so don't worry about it. But this deposit is kind of an investment. Let me try and get like something like income. You see, income. Okay. So I'll go with this one, and then so this basically transfer histories. That's showing you transfer. So I can go for history. Story. No, that's not. Not having that one there. Let me try. You see how difficult is it when finding in icons for your designs. So as a designer, when you are working with a group of people like developers, when you're handing off your designs, it's a good advice for you to show them where you found your icons and also include the icon sets in your design, so that when they are coding this, they don't stress themselves too much finding where you got those icons from. All right, I think we need to improvise here. So let me go back to the history and then use that one rather. I'll go with this one. Import as frame. So this, okay, withdraw, sorry. Let me go with this one rather. Now import this one too, and then I think I can even use this one for the transfers in and out, so I'll add this one too. And for the more, I'll use this one, right? So when I go down there, I can see like there's a basketball here, so I'll get that one too. So I import that, then a deposit. I already have a deposit symbol there, so I no need to get it. No need to download it again. So I have to look for a send. So send something like this. Can use something like this there. Right. Then at your mobile nav here, you can also get the icons that we have for our various nav items there. So we have home, which is pretty easy to find. I'll go with this one. I'll import it, and the credit card or card. Yes, for says for card. Is its imports, and this is for scanning, right? So you can see scanner or something like that for scan. Search for scan. So we have it here. Go with this one. Imports and then activity. Alright, you have it here. I'll import that one too, and then profile. Use this one. Imports. Okay. One more thing, this arrow here too, I need to get it in there. So I need to get the icon as well. So arrow. Let me search for an arrow. So I think I have that one too here, and then I import that one. Yes, so we are done with all the icons that will be the design. That will be required in the design. So take a look at it. So they are all in here. When I collapse my layer, you can see that we have, let me see, we have this, and then what I created here for you guys to work on it, and then our iPhone 16, right? So let me go down to it and see whatever we have in there. So let me select this one. This is our field arrow. I can drag it here. I can bring this one here. You see, they are all inside of it. So sometimes when you import an icon in your work and you can't see it, maybe they might be on top of each other, right? So you need to go through and then remove them all. So I have all my icons here. So what you can do is that you can highlight them all and then create a component set out of it, but that's advanced. So for today we focus on how to use them individually, right, without creating component sets out of it. So let me bring them here. Somewhere here. You can't see it because the page is dark, it's black, so I can change the page color so that I can see my icons that I'm working with here. Right, so I'll be needing this cellular signal, and then the Wi-Fi, and then the I didn't get a battery, so let me get a battery so I can go back to icons, plugins, and then finding my plugins here. But this the actions, so this is my recent actions, so this is what I was using, so I can just click on it and then find the battery icon there. Right, so look for something similar to this. Okay, I think this is similar, so let me import that one too as well. Right, so when I click on an icon, right, you can see the dimensions of the icon. So this icon currently has a width of 36 and then a height of 20. So if you are using icons in your work, make sure they are of the same sizes, right, to maintain consistency, so that your work become consistent and then clean as possible. All right, so I need to resize them. I should have done that in the icons 8 iconify, but it skipped me, so I need to resize them to 24. I'll be using 24 by 24 pixels icons. So let me bring this one here. 16. So how I can resize them is that I can just click on the width and then type in 24, and then since this aspect ratio is locked, whatever you type in here is linked to this one, so it will change the size automatically, right? So if I click on this one, it will change the size automatically. If I unclick on it and I type in here 30, see that the width will be 30 but the height will be 24, right? So I can set it back and then click on 24 again. Right, sorry, let me set it back. I need 24 by 24 pixels. All right, an even number. So I have that one to here, and then you can also, if I highlight, you have a mixed height and a mixed width, right? All of our icons. So I can just click here and then set them to 24 by 24, then click enter. So right now all our icons here is 24 by 24, but it's looking very ugly. This is looking, and this is also looking kind of stretched a little bit. So I'll set this to the width to 30. You see, still not looking nice. And then this is too big, this is too large for our work, so you can go to icons, iconify, and then find another one. So this is 24 by 24. As you can see, the sizes here. You can change the size by going through and then choose the size that you want. So I'll stick to 24, and then I'll replace this icon. You see that it has been replaced, no need to make changes in it, right? Yeah, I think everything is okay. And then this one, the arrow, can go back to this, and then search for an arrow. Okay, 24 by 24. Now we place it and have a nice arrow. So icons from Iconify already come with a frame. So as you can see, this is the if you are using a frame, if you look at your layers, you can see that it's showing you that this is a frame, right? So it's already in its frame. And then when you select, let me select this one. When you select this one, the icon is a vector icon, so you can apply color. So it's currently it's having stroke, so you can add a fill, and then you can change the color and then position and the weight as well. We will get to that one too, but let's focus on what we have for today. Please, any questions so far before I move on? Any match? Search for another one. Hello, are you there?
Yes, we are here, Andy.
All right. Any questions so far? Okay, place this. All right. So what we can do is to increase. So if you want to edit anything on your screen, right, you first need to select it first. By default we have our select tool, our move tool on, right? It's used for selection and also for scaling as well. So if I want to make changes to this, I have to select it first before I get access to its properties, so that I can edit anything that I want to change here. So if I scroll down, so this is a position that it's finds itself on the canvas, right? When let me take you back to JHS or SHS. So in graph is that we have X and Y axis, right? So on the Cartesian plane, is that what they call it? Right. So this is 117,000 something on the X axis, and then minus 13,000 on the Y axis, right? You can rotate it, you can flip it around as well. You can add your custom rotation number here, or you can rotate 90 degrees at a go, and then this is to flip it horizontally, and then this is to flip it vertically as well. And then you can add an auto layout to it, the layout as well. It's more of like the constraints that we set for the individual object that we have on our screen. We'll dive deeper into that. So today let's look at how to. Let me click on my text so I can change this text to any text of my choice. Let me use fig tree. Then I can change it from regular to semi bold. Can change the size as well if I click in here to 24. See, it's too large. 20. It's too large. 18. 17. Okay, you can if you have if you are typing on like spaces in between the line, right, you can add a line height and then also letter spacing. So what this does is that you can stretch your letters when you click and drag along it. You can also type in a custom figure there. So I'll set it back to 0 and press enter. This line height, when you have a sentence, so let's say if you have a sentence like this, I'm typing anything, right? What this does is that it helps you increase or decrease your line height. So for now it's set to auto, right? I can set it to 0. Right, if I set it to 0, you see that it has squeezed it. So I can click on it and then play with it and see my line height, right? So this is what it does. And then we have the alignment to align it to the left, there's the center, and then the left side as well. So as you play with Figma, you get to use these things as well, right? Okay, so let me delete this and let me click on this one and then make a copy of this one. So if you want to duplicate anything in Figma, you select it first and then you hold your Alt key, right? So when you hold your Alt key, you see that's the arrow, your mouse cursor, this one, as you have another one beside it, right? It becomes 2. You have 2 cursors, that means you can duplicate now. Then you click and then you drag. You hold your Alt, click and drag, or you can just copy and then you come and paste as well, so that you can duplicate as well. Or you can use Control D to duplicate. So that one, it duplicates it in place. So when I click it down, you can see that it's on top of it, right? Okay, so let's try and then it's 10 o'clock. Wow. Okay, when we look at our design, we see that our mobile screen has some even margins on the left and right side of it, right? So we can set our margins so that our design become very consistent, right? So first of all, I will click here, right, and then okay, you can also use a ruler in your designs as well. But I'll click here, scroll down, and then I'll select my frame, right, and then scroll down and then go to layout guide, right, and I'll click on it. This gives you access to a grid and then a column system, right, that you can manipulate. So I'll select columns. For mobile, usually we deal with 4 columns, but it depends on whatever you are designing, like you the designer, right? So I'll set my columns to 4. I'll maintain the color and then the opacity as well. The type to I'll make it I'll make it stretch, and then the margin, I'll give it a margin of let me give it a margin of, it's 32 by 30, and then here of 16, a gutter of 16. So this is the margin. The margin is the sizes for the space from this side to this side. That's what you call the margin. And the gutters are the spaces in between. So I'll give it a gutter of 16. So now we can align our work here so that it fits whatever we have there. So I can click and drag it so when you are moving things, it shows you the guide, right? Let me add a minute. So let's show rulers. You can show your ruler too, so that you can use your ruler to work as well. A minute, please. Yeah. Snap to right. So you have that there. So that means we need to adjust this one so that it's also snap to this. So we move it to. So when you get to the end of your margin, you can see that Figma will suggest a guideline for you so that you can use it. Right, now we can group these things out. Right, so what you can do is that if you want to align these items, you can click and highlight over them, and then you can see that you have on your right side the properties. You can see that we have the alignments that you can apply to each of them. So you can align all of these to the left, you can align it to the center. Because I've aligned them to the left side, everything is grouping as one side, right? Let me click Ctrl Z, undo, and then align them vertically, and then so that they all be on the same line here. I can add this one to the selection tool and then align it vertically as well. You can see that there is a space below here. That's your line height. You can take that one out. You can trim it by coming to this side, and then we will trim our vertical trim. We will just trim it and take it off. Unnecessary space there. Come here and then trim it out as well. And then let me highlight everything from this side to this side and then center it. Okay. So I'll try and move faster because the time is not on our side. So if you need any explanation or if you don't understand anything, then you draw my attention to it. So I have my work come back here. I can duplicate it by holding the Alt and then hold Alt. Let me select his face, hold Alt and drag it. I have Tommy Jason. Okay. Here. And we have our icon, our bell icon here. Where's our bell icon? I can click it and bring it here as well. Then we have our card here. So we'll try and replicate this card. This is a rectangle that has been, its corners has been rounded, right? So you come to our tools and then you get a rectangle here, and then as you can see, you see that even this one has when I turned on our layout guide, you see that this one too also snaps to it, right? So I'll come here and then drag and draw our card in here, and then I'll give it a corner radius of 8. See if it's cool. 8 is too small. Let me give it a corner radius of 20. This is okay. Now if you take a look at it, you have a section here which is a blue section, there's a green section. So that means we have to divide this. So what I do is that I just create a copy of what I have here. Then for the corner radius here, I come here, individual corner radius. This allows me to edit the corner radius individually, right? So I will set the ones at the bottom here, the left one and then the right one to 0. 0, this one to 0. So as you can see, this is having a corner radius and this are set to 0, so there is no corner radius here, it's pointed. And I'll reduce the size a little bit, and then I'll click and drag it and place it over it. Because they are all the same colors, it's very hard to see, so I can just click on the first one that I just placed on it, come to the fill, and then click on this eyedropper icon here, and then copy the color, and then copy the color there, and then click on this one to the one below it, and then copy the color, right? Now I can just adjust it a little bit. So when you're adjusting things in Figma, please make sure you use the zoom, so that you adjust precisely, right? If you're adjusting from a wide viewpoint, it might be very difficult to get the precision right. So you make sure you zoom in so that you adjust and get it right with precision. So we have our card here, and on it we have our chip. So let me get our chip here. I'll just click and drag it on top here. I'll change the color to this, the full color, the selection here. You see that it's a darker color, black. I'll click on it and I'll click on this color, the color I have here, which is white. So you can see that we have kind of a similar thing here. Since this one is a little bit bigger than this one, so we need to increase it. So that's when our scale tool comes in. You can use the scale tool to scale it, or you can use the move tool. You just hold shift and then you drag along the edges, and then to scale it nicely and neatly for you, right? So you have that one too here. Let me see. You see, when you zoom out, you think that everything is perfect, but when you zoom in, you can see that the blue is quite off of the green. So that's why I say when you are working in Figma, make sure that you zoom in to get things working perfectly and precisely for you, right? You can see that even the edges here is not matching. So I can select the blue side and then the green side by holding shifts and selecting it. You can see that these two layers are selected. You can select also by clicking on the layer icon here, and then hold control, and then you click and select again. Then I can align them. See, I'll align them to the center horizontally, right? You see that everything is in place now. So when I zoom in, I don't have any rectangle overlapping on the another, right? Let me check here. See, everything is perfect. Now let's get this verify icon there. So I'll just click this one too and bring it here, set the color to white, then I'll flip it. So I'll use this flip tool and I'll flip it. Sorry, I'll just flip it. Let me see. Flip now here. So I'll rotate it rather. So let me rotate it and get this, and then I can select this and this at the same time, then I'll align them. So instead of trying to do it manually on your own, make use of these alignment properties, right? So for this we have some text here, so just click and hold this one down. Change the color to white. You see, this is below it. I made a copy of it here, but it's not showing. This is because it is at the back of the color. I change the color. So this is our chip. Sorry, let me change the color back to black again. Let me see. Yes, so it's at the back of the rectangle that we have, right? So if you draw something and you are not seeing it, go back to the layer. When you go to the layer, when you select on it, you can right click and then select bring to front, so that it sends into the front here for you to see it. So now I can change my color here, and then I'll type in my credit card number. So star 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 2 1. Right, the size is a little bit huge, so I need to reduce it. Let me give it 15 and see. 14 rather, and set this to semi-bold. Okay, so gradually we are working on whatever we have here. We can change, let's change the colors here too as well, but before that I need to bring a background, a green background there. So I will just go to this side and then draw a background here to this point, right? Set the color to this green, right? So you can see that when I drew this rectangle over it, it's on top of whatever we have there. So what you need to do is to select that rectangle, right click on it, and then you click on send to back, or you can select it here and then you can have the same options there. You can send it back, so as you see that you have it back here. Now what I can do is to select everything here, since they all have the same color, so I can select them. I don't want to select this rectangle, so let me lock it. You can lock your layer by locking it here, so that's when you are selecting, when I'm highlighting over it, I don't select it. So I can now highlight over everything that I have there. So as you can see, these are the highlighted items that I have there, right, including the rectangle. So I can deselect this one by holding control and then deselect it. Let me deselect it. Why is it not working? All right, scroll down. So you see, out of my selection, these are the colors that I have in my selection. So I want to change all the blacks there to white, so I come to the selection colors, click there, and then change it to white. And then here we go, set this to medium, and then reduce the size to 14, and increase the size of this one to, let's say, 24. Let me see, and then make it a little bit bold for you to see, and change this thing back to, it's hard to see this white on green, so I'll change it, I'll make it a little bit bold so that you can see it, right? So I'll click on make a copy of this one as well, right click on it, and then bring to front so that I can see it. Then I'll type in my figures there, the dollar 15 365 00. Then I think this is the MasterCard logo with 2 circles. Sorry, Control Z. So I'll go to an ellipse to, I'll duplicate this and put it over here, and then they are overlapping, so I can just set it to align, and then I will reduce it equally. You can use the scale tool to do that by pressing K, or I can go to that and click and select the scale tool, and then I'll come here and then I'll place it here and then set my color to select both of them. It's still on the scale, so I need to send it back to the move tool so that I can select it there, and then change the color here to white. I think one is deeper than the other, so to select this one, let me select this one right here, select this one, and then reduce the opacity, so I can set this to 70. Yeah, so as you can see, you have something like this, right? I think you're almost done with our card. See, we have some lines in there, so let's create that one too as well. So that one was made by using the pen tool, so click on the pen tool click here, hold, click here, hold it, click here, hold it, click somewhere here, click here, hold it here, and then click here. I can close it. Now I have a custom shape in here. I can change the color to the green that we are working it, so I can change it to the green, and then you have something similar to whatever we have there. You can double click on it and then make adjustment to it here, right? So if you want to move it a little bit, you can do all this adjustment there. So all these tools also allows you to adjust certain things. If you want to bend it, if you want to bend something there, you can bend it and to how you like it, right, to your liking. So I can even bend something here, add a point here, let me add a point here. So you can also add a variable which is making it a little bit bigger and smaller as well. So let me go to undo, and you can play with the pen tool and then experiment with it as well. Let me move this a little bit here for you to work with it. I don't want this one coming here, so let me double click on that one and go back in there and then move it. Yeah. So let me close it. Right. Okay. Right now, since these two, we perceive them as one, we can group them, right? Or we can add auto layout to them. So auto layout is like a form of grouping, but it's also how do I say it? It groups items and also gives automatically aligns it, right? It gives it its layouts, right? So I can select these two and then come to where is that place here, the layout, and then I can click here to add an auto layout to it. So when I click on it and I add auto layout to it, right, this is advanced, sorry, let me go to undo. Right, what I can do is to group these items as one. So I can select both of them, right click, and then Control G can group them as one object. So right now I can move them as a group, right? If I want to move and edit it individually, I can double click and go inside and then go and make my editing. When I'm done, when I select the group, I can move them as a group, right? Okay, so let me select the whole group and then increase the size a little bit, move it here, then let me group this to select this and select this, and then Control G to group them. Let me group this and this one as well. The writing inside, the lines here, and then the blue background as well. I'll also group them so that I can move this. And let me also group this and this again as one group. So I'll and then Control G. Right. Let me group this one to align it nicely and then group it. Stretch it a little bit so that it aligns with this. Okay. Then I'll select the whole thing. Let me collapse all the layers. Select this, the whole group. So and select everything and then group it. Select this as well, this and then this one, and then Control G, and I'll group everything and I'll rename it to card, so that I know that this is my card. Right, let me perform some editing here. Let me double click on this one and bring this thing a little bit inside, and bring this one as well so it doesn't go out of it. Alright, so I have my card here. Alright, so let me send this rectangle here. Let me reduce it a little bit so that I can. All right. Now, so you can see that we are done with the top section of our design. So we can let me select the card and give it an effect, right? A blur effect. So I can go to my effects and add effects, a drop shadow rather. So I can, when you increase the Y axis number, it tells you how the effects move from its original position on the Y axis, right? So if I stretch it, this is what I get. So I can reduce it to a certain amount, and in front end, this is what we call box shadow. You can add a shadow to your cart and all those stuff. I can add some blur to it and then reduce the opacity so that it doesn't stick to your face. Right, now let's design for these items, and I hope you can do the rest. Let me do this and then leave the rest to you. Those who are in the group, I've sent the link in your file. I've sent the link to the file in the comment section for you to also work on this work. So I have other designs there that I'll be placing in so that you guys will try and replicate it. I'll put it there, and then I'll have your name beside it so that you work on it for the week before our next class. Right. All right. Yeah, so let me go back and then add these icons and then deposit. So this deposits, right? So we choose for our deposits. The icon that we choose for our deposits, and okay, type in here deposits. So I'm using the arrow keys to also move any item I find on my frame around, right? So I have this thing here. I think I would have to reduce the size a little bit to 12, and then yeah, I think it's okay, it's cool. Zoom in here and then pick the color. Yes, pick the color, then come back. All right, I can select everything, align it nicely, and then I'll group it. Right, I'll make a duplicate of this one, 4 duplicates. Highlight everything, and when you hover on, if you highlight items and you hover on them, you can click on this one to tidy them up, right? So it has distributed equal spacing in between them for me. When you look at the spacing between them is 54, so I can line them neatly vertically, and then I'll stick them here and try and then reduce my spacing a little bit, and then bring them somewhere. Right, so what I need to do is to change the icons and then the text. I can go inside each one of them and change it to transfer. Go inside this one, needs to withdraw. Sorry, and then change this to more. When I do that, you see that the position inside has been messed up, so I can click on it again and then I can position it. So I can go inside them, the individual items, select them individually, and then I'll align them to the center. Double click, hold shifts, align, double click. So all right, select everything and look at the spacing. They have mixed spacing, that means they don't have an equal spacing, so just select an equal spacing between them to keep things consistent and even throughout. So can increase it a little bit. Then now I'll group everything as one. Right, I'll group my selection and I'll center and I'll align it to our canvas, right? So and align it to see that it is now at the center of our canvas, right? So we have this in there. Any questions so far? Yes. Come again. Please, I can barely hear you. Dave, you have a question? Can you type it in the comment section, because it seems your line is breaking. So apart from Dave, does anyone also have a question? Okay, so the name of the tools. Okay, Dave. So Nancy, the name of the tool that I use to select the icons, the move tool, right? So when you click, by default, that's what is selected in Figma, right? From your tools, by default, that's what is selected. So when you click on it, it selects anything that you have here, and then you can click and then move it around, right? Yeah. Let's enter this. Okay, I hope you can do the rest of the design, this part. I hope you can finish it up within the weekend, so that by Monday when I inspect it, it should be done. And I'll drop another design inside so that you also work on that one too as well, in conjunction with the rest that you're supposed to do here, right? So what you need to do is to just duplicate your text, change the text size, make sure they are aligned to the size here. You add another text here, you come for your arrow here, you place it beside it, and then this is, you guys can do it. So let me create this one, how to do this one. So this is basically a circle, and then the shape is inside it, right? So I'll create my circle by clicking once, then I'll place my shape on it, highlight everything, center it, both horizontally and then vertically, so that it stays in the middle of our circle, right? Click on the circle, hold shift and alt, and then scale it down, or I can use the scale tool, which is K, or I can come here and then scale it down, right? So when I scale it down, I'll just zoom in. It's always advisable to zoom in so that you see whatever you're doing, right? So zoom in, you're still on the scale tool, right? And I'll change back to my move tool. Can use a shortcut key as well, right? And highlight everything, center it, nice and nice. You are done, and then you can group all of them. You can select everything and then change the colors based on the colors that you see here. So where you see this color, you select the green for that, and then where you see the black, you select a white color for that. Now you select everything and then right click and group selection, and bring it down here. So let's say I have it here. If I want to center it, I want to align it exactly horizontally to the middle of our frame. When I select it and I click here, see that it's exactly in the middle, and then this vertically, sorry, and it's aligned horizontally in the middle as well. If I align it horizontally in the middle, so I can bring it here, and then so look at the lines that you have there. That thin line that is in there, that's where your item will go. So when you look at this side, see that the thin line is at the left. So when I click on this side to align to the left of this frame, I click here to go to this side, and I click here to come to this side, and I click here, comes to the middle, and I click here to come to the down bottom of it. Yeah. Alright, so I'll end the lesson here so that you guys practice. The link is still in the comment section, so please do well to accept the invitation. I'll give you editing access for you to be able to edit the work, right? Okay, so I think we call it a day or an evening. If please, are there any questions before you call it a day? Hello. Okay. So if there are no questions, then I assume that we all understood whatever was taught here, right? So those who joined the class today, I'll have your names so on each file. When you come, you look at what you are supposed to do, and then you start working on it, right? So I'll do that when the call ends, and then I'll share the link to the Figma file in our main group on the WhatsApp channel, and then here on Discord as well, so that you can start working on um, whatever you have. Please don't copy someone's work, right? Don't go and duplicate someone else's work. Try and do it so that you really understand whatever you are doing. Well, the more you practice, the more you get to understand whatever we are doing here, right? So I will stop sharing my screen in the absence of no question or any contribution. So I think I'll end the class here, and so that we all go back and rest. Thank you. Please, Rita, would you like to chip in something before I go? Or
Yes, nothing much for me just to say thank you very much for taking us to this